Good goaltending can go a long way, from keeping your team within a fighting chance to shutting the door on an equalizing goal when the season is on the line. We have seen some unbelievable saves throughout the years. Keeping all that in mind, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the most memorable saves from all 32 NHL teams. The Anaheim Ducks, J.S. Giguère. During Game 1 of the 2003 Western Conference Finals, Giguère made an unbelievable save in the second period against elite goal scorer Marian Gaborik. Keeping the game tied with his unbelievable stick save, the 7th-seed Mighty Ducks would go on to beat the 6th-seed Minnesota Wild in double overtime. The Arizona Coyotes, Mike Smith. Funny enough, Marian Gaborik is on the losing side again here against Mike Smith. This time Gaborik is playing for the Rangers and he's going up against Mike Smith in a penalty shot in overtime. Gaborik has the open net with the puck on his forehand, but in desperation, Smith lunges and makes a nearly impossible save to keep the game going. The Boston Bruins, Tim Thomas. The Bruins have had some unbelievable goalies over the past couple of decades, and Tim Thomas is certainly up there on the list. This game back in December of 2010, Thomas makes the nicest save in Bruins history with a Superman glove save, robbing the heck out of Francois Beauchemin. The net was completely open, but Thomas still managed to get over and save the day right on time. The game was in overtime too, making this save that much sweeter for the Bruins. The Buffalo Sabres, Dominik Hasek. Dominik Hasek was an innovator, a hero, and one of the greatest goalies in NHL history. On the other end of this play, Doug Weight scored 278 goals throughout his NHL career. But after you see this, he should have 279. This stop by Hasek is the type that keeps a goal scorer up at night. There seems to be absolutely no chance for Hasek after Weight throws out an incredible breakaway move, yet somehow Dominik Hasek gets back around with the glove in time to stop the puck from crossing the line. The Calgary Flames, Miikka Kiprusoff. Kiprusoff was a phenomenal goaltender, providing many great memories throughout the course of his 576 games played for the Flames. He won 305 times, posting 41 shutouts over his career. Now, there are many highlights for Kiprusoff, but his save on Vancouver's Kyle Wellwood is like no other. Making a save like this is nothing short of a miracle, and in making it, he kept his team up by 1. What a legendary save. The Carolina Hurricanes, Cam Ward. This was an absolute thing of beauty. Cam Ward was actually just coming off the IR the week prior, and this is one hell of a save to make after a comeback. Watch as Cam Ward makes an incredible stick save in midair on Ottawa Senators forward Colin Green.
With good speed at the Carolina line, Derek Grant, good save by Ward, the rebound, what a save!
The Chicago Blackhawks, Ed Belfour. The goalie tandem Chicago had from 1990 to 1992 boasted two of the greatest names in NHL history, Ed Belfour and Dominik Hasek. Hasek would go to Buffalo in the 92-93 season, while Belfour would backstop Chicago through a few rounds of the playoffs until 1995. For anyone who doubted Belfour's abilities, one of the major reasons Chicago got to the conference finals that year is because of him. Case in point, check out this crazy moment. Belfour absolutely robbed Sergei Fedorov on a point-blank shot that should have easily been a goal. The Colorado Avalanche, Patrick Waugh. He has as glittering a goaltending resume as any man who has ever strapped on the pads and is easily one of the best to ever do it. On top of that, this save you're about to see from Patrick Waugh came during a rival game against the Detroit Red Wings. The intensity during the Avalanche and Red Wings games was unmatched during this era, making this save on the Red Wings Kozlov even more remarkable. This is definitely one Kozlov wanted back.
Oh, what a stop! Patrick Waugh!
The Columbus Blue Jackets, Sergei Bobrovsky. Sergei Bobrovsky is the best goalie the Blue Jackets franchise has ever had. There is no debating that. Back on November 11th, 2017, he made the most memorable save in franchise history, robbing the Red Wings on this 2-on-0 in overtime.
2-on-0, there's, oh, Bobrovsky!
The Dallas Stars, Kari Lehtonen. The Stars may have lost 2-1 against the Columbus Blue Jackets, but Kari Lehtonen did everything he could to keep them in the game. Columbus defenseman Jack Johnson made a swerving move through the Stars zone and snapped a bullet on net. Lehtonen clipped the shot with the edge of his glove, but it looked like the puck was going to flip up and go into the net. Then, in a flash, the Stars MVP wheeled and swiped the puck with the backhand of his glove. The Detroit Red Wings, Jimmy Howard. This moment is the most memorable because of how badly Jimmy Howard robbed not not one Sedin, but two. The first one certainly left Daniel Sedin with his jaw dropped as he couldn't believe how bad Jimmy Howard just robbed him, keeping the puck from passing the goal line with the refs having to review it. Once it was deemed a save, moments later, Howard was at it again, this time robbing Henrik. Making these saves, Howard helped the Red Wings to rally for a 2-1 win in the shootout. The Edmonton Oilers, Curtis Joseph. Curtis Joseph has many memorable moments in his NHL career, but the most memorable save for the Oilers came in 1998 against the Avalanche. The Oilers were up 3-0 when Cujo went out to play the puck in the corner. One of his D-men got dumped by an Avalanche player, causing him to slide right into Cujo, knocking him down and out of the play. With his net wide open, Cujo quickly jumps up and slides across the crease, desperate to get back in position. But when the Avs get the puck in front of the open net, Curtis Joseph displays some unbelievable edge work and hand-eye coordination, sticking his stick out to deny the shot and keep the shutout going. The Florida Panthers, Roberto Luongo. Similar to the Cujo play we just saw, here we'll watch Florida Panthers legend Roberto Luongo make a desperate move in a tough situation. Anton Shlepyshev was robbed in broad daylight by Roberto Luongo, who was down and out but desperately stabbed at Shlepyshev's blast with his goal stick and tipped it wide of the gaping net. The LA Kings, Jonathan Quick. Jonathan Quick's save of the year came at 10 minutes and 7 seconds of the first period when Arizona forward Peter Holland had a nearly wide open net after he received a cross-crease pass from Lawson Krause. But after Holland lifted a shot over McNabb's stick blade, Quick kicked out his left skate to stop the puck just before it crossed the goal line. It was a jaw-dropping save, which had the crowd on their feet and made the commentators speechless.
Quick rebound back to a wrist shot. What a save made by Quick. He got it with the left skate. How did he keep it?
The Minnesota Wild, Devin Dubnyk. The first game of the season is always exciting, but can you imagine making the save of the year in your team's home opener? The Detroit Red Wings forward Gustav Nyquist was gifted a short breakaway opportunity, and while it looked initially like he had completely beaten Wild goaltender Devin Dubnyk, that was not the case. Dubnyk missed the initial poke check on Nyquist and allowed the Red Wings forward to slip behind him in front of a wide open net, but at the last second Dubnyk reached behind his back to make what seemed to be an impossible save. The Montreal Canadiens, Jose Theodore. Game 6 of the conference semifinals in 2002 was filled with some amazing highlights, but one in particular stands out. Montreal Canadiens goalie Jose Theodore made this spinning desperation save on Bill Guerin of the Boston Bruins with the back of his glove. This one's always had a bit of controversy to it, as some claim Theodore threw his stick on the play. However, as you can see on the overhead shot, the puck hits the stick and then hits Theodore's glove. The Nashville Predators, Carter Hutton. In January of 2014, the Predators found themselves with their starting goalie Pekka Rinne on the IR with a hip infection. This put all the pressure on backup goalie Carter Hutton, and he did not disappoint. Hutton was forced to make an acrobatic save against the Philadelphia Flyers after a dump-in took a bounce off the boards, leaving him out of position after coming out to play the puck. The Flyers forward tried to bury the puck into a seemingly empty net, but was left with his jaw dropped after being stoned by the Predators goalie. Hutton's save preserved a second period lead for Nashville, and they would go on to win the game over the Flyers 4-3 in a shootout. The New Jersey Devils, Martin Brodeur. Game 1 of the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals between the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils saw a fair number of great saves by both Hall of Fame goaltenders Henrik Lundqvist and Martin Brodeur. Despite losing, Martin Brodeur gets the save of the night and easily one of his most memorable with his dive across the goal crease to rob Mark Stahl. This was an absolutely fantastic save that helped set the tone for the remainder of the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody expected the 6-seed Devils to reach that point, but through sheer force, determination, and willingness to throw bodies in front of shooters, the Devils went on to win this series 4-2 and advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. This was the last playoffs of Martin Brodeur's career, and the last time the Devils as a whole would reach the postseason for 6 years. The New York Islanders, Dwayne Rolison. 40 years old at the time, this sequence has to be a top 3 highlight in Dwayne Rolison's career. Clutching the top of his net with his glove hand to swing his body across the crease to rob Todd Fedoruk would be an incredible save on its own. But with his goal line stick save on Steve Downey split seconds earlier, it becomes one of the best goaltending moments in Islanders history. The New York Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist. The New York Rangers goalie never failed to impress, and in this game, he certainly showed up, shutting out the Montreal Canadiens in Game 6 of the 2014 Eastern Conference Finals. Henrik Lundqvist made one of the most ridiculous blocker saves we'll ever see. The save came against Thomas Vanek in the second period of a 1-0 victory. Vanek put the puck on goal and in the process received a useful deflection from Rangers defenseman Daniel Girardi. The deflection forced Lundqvist to change direction at the last moment. The Rangers goalie dropped his stick, twisted his body, and backhanded the puck out of the crease, stopping what would have been a for sure goal. The Ottawa Senators' Craig Anderson. Craig Anderson was a brick wall during his time as a Senator, and he actually just recently signed a one-day contract with the team so he could officially retire in Ottawa. One save that comes to mind was when he stoned Jamie Benn with a shoulder save that basically turned into an assist. The Dallas Stars had their goalie pulled and were looking to get a quick goal, trying to keep their hopes alive. Already down on the ice, Anderson quickly moves across the crease in desperation and makes an unbelievable save, solidifying the win for the Sens. Now that was a great moment, but I believe the most memorable moment for the Ottawa Senators and Craig Anderson has to be when Craig Anderson got a shutout in his first game back after taking some time off due to his wife being diagnosed with cancer. It was understandably a difficult time, but his wife urged him to rejoin the team for the road trip against the Edmonton Oilers. Anderson had 37 saves in a 2-0 victory, his second shutout of the season, and his 35th of his career. Teammates took turns hugging Anderson after the final horn, and then Anderson was left to wait alone in the hallway after being named the game's first star. The Edmonton crowd cheered for him when he emerged, and among those clapping was Oilers goalie Cam Talbot, who had been named the second star of the game. The Philadelphia Flyers' Brian Boucher. Brian Boucher was just a newbie in the league when he led the league in goals against average with a 1.91, leading his team to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Devils. Despite being so green to the league, Boucher was playing like a seasoned vet and was looking to guide his team to a 2-1 series lead. After a giveaway in the offensive zone, the Flyers were on their heels as Patrick Elias moved up the ice with a hungry look in his eyes and the puck on his stick. Elias would go on to score 7 goals across this postseason, but not on this particular play. Elias had Boucher dead to rights after a fantastic deke to the left. Boucher fell for it, but he did not give up on the play. In desperation and without being able to see the puck, Boucher threw his glove hand back over the goal line and stopped Elias from scoring a goal. Boucher got up as quickly as he can and realized he had lost his mask on the play. The Pittsburgh Penguins' Marc-Andre Fleury. Midway through the third period against the Ottawa Senators, Marc-Andre Fleury made a save on offensive powerhouse Erik Karlsson that definitely left the Senators captain having nightmares. Karlsson is the most dangerous offensive defenseman in the league, and it's not like he even fanned on this shot. Karlsson had so much time to bring the puck back and let go a hard shot top shelf. 9 times out of 10, that puck in that situation ends up in the back of the net. This was that one time it didn't, and it was incredible. The San Jose Sharks' Evgeny Nabokov. The San Jose Sharks have been long ridiculed for choking in the playoffs. 2008 was no different. The Sharks were the Western Conference number 2 seed and needed all 7 games to take down a 7 seed Calgary. After that, the Sharks promptly dropped the first 3 games of the conference semifinals against Dallas. After San Jose took games 4 and 5, the Sharks and Stars headed to overtime in game 6 tied at 1. Dallas had been outplaying San Jose all game, and finally it seemed like the marathon of a game would come to an end on the stick of Brad Richards. Sharks goaltender Evgeny Nabokov was on the wrong side of the ice when the shot came off. Richards saw the light, and as you can tell from the footage, so did all the fans. Arms were being raised and cheers were being roared. In fact, the only sight we didn't see was the goal light going off because Nabokov had snagged the puck out of the air just before it crossed the line. San Jose would go on to lose that game, and their postseason woes have continued up until today. The St. Louis Blues' Jake Allen. There is nothing more intense than a puck fluttering across the goal line and the refs having to use video review, leaving everyone wondering what the heck is going on. St. Louis goalie Jake Allen absolutely robbed Chicago Blackhawks forward Mark Dano with a diving glove save late in the second period. The puck was basically in the net, but all thanks to Allen and his glove, he stopped it just in time. After the play was reviewed, it was deemed no goal. The Seattle Kraken, Philipp Grubauer. The 2022-23 season saw the Seattle Kraken awaken and evolve into a postseason contending team as they eliminated the defending Stanley Cup champs, the Colorado Avalanche. On their way to knocking out the champs, Philipp Grubauer stepped up in a big way during Game 6, stopping JT Compher with an unbelievable toe save. The Kraken didn't just make the playoffs, they made some noise when they got there, knocking off the defending Colorado Avalanche in 7 games to win their first postseason series in franchise history. Then they took the Dallas Stars to the brink in another Game 7 before coming up just a win short of a trip to the Western Conference Finals. This Philip Grubauer save was definitely one of the biggest highlights throughout their run. The Tampa Bay Lightning, Andrei Vasilevskiy. In the first period against the LA Kings, the Tampa Bay goalie broke out an impossible highlight reel save on a penalty kill. Despite pressure in front of him in the crease, Vasilevskiy predicted Anze Kopitar's shot from the side of the cage and perfectly placed his glove to stop him. The Lightning fans in attendance rightfully gave Vasilevskiy a standing ovation for his monster effort that kept Tampa Bay in the game. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Frederik Andersen. With the Maple Leafs down 2-0 in the series, the Leafs found themselves with the lead going into the dying moments of Game 3. The Leafs were up 4-2, even though they were being outshot, but Freddie wasn't going to let Boston take this one. With the net empty and 6 men on the ice, Pastrnak positioned himself backdoor, waiting in the open for a one-timer opportunity. That opportunity came, but Frederik Andersen shut the door, making a remarkable stick save, keeping the 2-goal lead alive. The Vancouver Canucks, Ryan Miller. The Red Wings beat the Canucks 3-1 in Detroit, but it could have been 4-1 if not for Vancouver goalie Ryan Miller's hypnotic performance. The play came just 2 minutes to go in the third period. Vancouver was in the process of taking Miller out for an extra skater when they unfortunately turned the puck over in the neutral zone to Detroit captain Henrik Zetterberg. So Miller turned around and scrambled back to see what he could do. Zetterberg let the puck rip from the red line, and Miller went sprawling, making a diving glove save. This play earned Miller a standing ovation from the Detroit crowd. The Vegas Golden Knights, Marc-Andre Fleury. This one was dubbed the save of the century by Fleury's agent, Alan Walsh. Toronto Maple Leafs right wing Ilya Mikheyev hit the post from the top of the left circle, and the rebound bounced out to Nick Petan at the bottom of the right circle. He threw the puck on the net with his backhand with Fleury at the top of the crease, but the goaltender leaped backward and snagged the puck out of the air with his glove. This spectacular stop preserved a 3-2 lead, and the Knights ended up winning 4-2. It was a consequential play because the Toronto coach Mike Babcock was fired the very next day. The Washington Capitals, Braden Holtby. Now, I don't use the word brilliant that much, but there is no other way to describe this play from Braden Holtby in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. With 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the third period, Shea Theodore gained the red line and dumped the puck in. The puck took a crazy bounce off the corner boards and slid through the Capitals' goal crease right to Cody Eakin. Braden Holtby, however, was ready to save the day. Eakin sent a quick centering pass to Alex Tuch for a one-timer. Holtby put his stick down on the ice, absolutely embarrassed Tuch with a stick save. This save was so ridiculous, even Alexander Ovechkin could not believe it just happened. The Winnipeg Jets, Ondrej Pavelec. Now, Winnipeg may have gone on to lose this game 5-4 in overtime to the Philadelphia Flyers, but that defeat is not on Ondrej Pavelec. The 24-year-old goalie at the time made a career-high 50 saves, including this stunner on Flyers forward Jakub Voracek midway through the third period. Pavelec was distraught after losing the game, pacing the hallways and refusing to speak to media. Jets captain at the time, Andrew Ladd, said, "Pavelec was excellent. He gave us a chance to win. I feel bad for him because obviously we spoiled a great performance on his part, and I'm sure he's frustrated." Thanks for watching our videos. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.